Hello everyone, sorry about that. 6 minutes late, Ragnar, yes. I couldn't get the audio to work when I was playing a desktop thing. Again, I think that's because when I use my Bluetooth headphones, no sound comes through on Streamlabs. So yeah, that's what it is. I think it's working now though. Let me just check. No. What? Hang on.
Free speech
There
while
we
also
go.
protecting their diverse student body.
Right, got it. Because I want to talk about this today. I seen this on the Lotus Eaters podcast, and I was like, oh my god, it's fucking. There's lots of crazy things going on there. It's not hard to find content to talk about in this day and age because everything's mental. But yeah, this is mental. More mental than the last mental from the last 12 hours. It's just every time you think we've hit the bottom of the barrel, we scrape it. We just go, fuck it. We saw the bottom off the barrel and we start digging through the fucking soil. Like, it knows no bounds, the lunacy. It's like watching a monkey with a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, well, that's Bootneck, isn't it? That's Bootneck. We're not renowned for our technological advancement. We're renowned for killing people in the face with our good old-fashioned biceps. We're not renowned for technology. If you want technological know-how, go and watch Linus Tech Tips. I do like Linus. He's a good lad. Are you still allowed to say, I believe, as long as you're calling a northern white man, yes, you're allowed to call northern men monkeys. It is weird, isn't it? How even that, if you think about it, that is linked to what I'm going to show you because that's science, isn't it? Like, by definition, we are apes. And because we've imported the sort of American woke dictionary, I almost said lexicon then because I've been in America too long. I don't even like that word, lexicon. They always say, oh, it's not in my lexicon. It's the fucking dictionary, isn't it? Unless it's a different thing and I'm just being ignorant. But yeah, it's the dictionary. We've imported the US dictionary. And for some reason now, it's offensive to point out the fact that we're all fucking apes. Like, I remember when the world was saying about 10 years ago, seeing Richard Dawkins on a documentary on like Channel 4. And he was stood there, this old white bloke in a suit, across from like a full-blown, like, what would be the word for it? A proper native African bloke who's like, I think he was like a doctor at a university in Nigeria or something. And he was saying to the guy, we're all apes. I'm an ape, you're an ape. Of course we are. We haven't got a tail, so we're not monkeys, we're apes. And this guy's nodding away, and it's like, now, if you say that, everyone assumes you want to go and fucking commit hate crimes. Like, it's really weird. And it's not empowering to make people, like, feel offended by everything. It shouldn't offend. Seriously, I know it's easy to make yourself out to be impervious when you are in the group that's never had the power of the state kneeling on them racially. Except for now, of course. Except for now, where you only get arrested for crimes if you're a white guy on the Football Lads Alliance. But except for now, white people have never had the power of the state leaning on them. So I always tell this to people, again, being the centrist, reasonable chap that I am, it isn't as bad. And I know plenty of you guys in the chat are going to disagree with me here. It isn't as bad calling someone a cracker or whitey or something as it is to call a black person the N-word. It just isn't, right? Because the power of the state was never against us. Again, until now. Fucking is now, but it never was. So it just isn't. And I don't like that argument because we don't find it offensive, do we? If someone says to me, you fucking... If I'm in the street, and it's happened before, I've been racially abused by homeless people in America. There's loads of crazy homeless people in LA who happen to be black. And if one of them starts going mental and calling me a cracker motherfucker, it's not offensive, is it? You're basically going, oh, woohoo. You're basically saying my family used to be rich and own people. It's not offensive. So it isn't the same thing, and I don't like the argument. But it's not a good thing to have people feeling so demasculated and weak and pathetic that they get massively outraged if you just say something scientific, like this gentleman does in the video I'm about to show you, or if a biologist like Richard Dawkins says, yeah, we're all apes. That shouldn't offend anyone. You're not doing people a favour making them fucking weak. Pathetic. Anyway, before I get to the show and start talking about this fucking cracker of a video, I am going to shield the channel for a bit because I want to show you guys something, right? My friend Jack messaged me yesterday and said, I've stopped commenting on your channel because I comment now, even if it's not even rude and there's no swear words, it's not controversial, and it just disappears. My comments just vanish. And I'm trying to implore you all, those of you that comment and you've started just rapping on it because they disappear, at least try to keep interacting with me because I do try and respond to as many messages as I can. I get tons nowadays. I do try. Addison, if you're watching, fucking constantly spamming me with messages. It's like a teenage girl on speed is fucking texting me and I'm like, Jesus. I try to be, open to people, to interact with them because I know everybody in these crazy times needs someone to have a chat with. And not everybody's got a load of mates. But I do get a lot of messages. I try my best to keep up with everyone. It's fucking hard work. Especially when, you don't do this for a fucking living. And I'm just trying to implore you, just keep at it because look how bad it's got. I don't know why Suza has suddenly started twisting my nutsack, but it's got bad lately. Like, my average community post a few weeks ago, there's one from, literally just a couple of weeks ago, about Mattis. It was in the hundreds. 420 there. That's 2 weeks ago. Then 494 there. I'm talking about Mattis. Then 520 there. Over 500 interactions and 60 comments. 281, 47 comments. 406, 44 comments. Look where I'm at now, 2 weeks later. I get what? 46, 24, 34, 32, 31, 19 when I shared Rotten Politics' video there. Maybe that's why Rotten Politics, they've seen me sharing his stuff and they went, bastard. Maybe that's why. It's your fault, Rotten Politics. They've put me on the same shit list as you. 2. Got 2 for that one. My Kamala Harris video. Fucking 2. So don't tell me they're not doing the old shadow banning, which is what my video yesterday about Jeff Bezos alluded to. They're taking the piss out of us. Paz, there's one I made for Paz. 18. Fucking 18. 20. Just nothing. Just getting out. And like I said, you only have to go back 2 weeks and I was getting 400, 300, 500. So we're all getting fucked, ladies and gents. Paz, Rotten Politics, everybody who's not a fucking lunatic. We're all getting stitched up massively. And I mean, again, the joke's on fucking them because they've never dealt with bootneck stubbornness before. I don't do this for a living. I never intended to. I don't have a monetized channel and I never have done. And I don't get any ad revenue. I don't get fuck all off them. Because I work for a living. So fuck them. If they think this is going to make me go, oh, I'm not doing any more fucking live streams or videos, Suza's got another thing coming. She would have to physically come round my fucking house and drag me out of that door there. So the fucking joke's on them. I'm going nowhere. Suzanne needs to send the boys round and fucking nail me to the kitchen floor if she wants to stop me making shit for your viewing pleasure. So fuck them. We got our problems done all right. My theory about that, I've told you, is I think that because they want to keep having plausible deniability, where they go into fucking Congress and just lie their arse off, I think they have a sort of 9 out of 10 ratio. There's no reason why. I mean, we got a problem sound and he makes good content, but it's not world-beating, amazingly interesting. And the likes of Paz or Rotten Politics on myself do stuff that's not even worth looking at. Objectively, it's about the same shit. They're about as well edited. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm probably the worst at that, but I've got original drawings. And I don't know what it is, but my theory is that they're basically strangle 9 out of 10 channels they don't like politically. Because the real true believers, they want to spread the word of wokeism and they want to keep down the dark apostles of fucking liberal centrism. So 9 out of 10, I think they let people get away with it. I think that's what it is. I think, like I said, the example I always use is Bearing. Because a couple of years ago, I started watching him and he was funny and his fucking channel shot up. It was like 500,000 subs in like 6 months. And they don't want to let that happen again. But they've got to sort of toe the line to stop being accused so they can just go in front of Congress and fucking perjure themselves. So I think if you're lucky, like the sort of chosen few, the quartering as well. I mean, I don't even think that guy, I sort of like his politics, but he's not interesting. He ums and ahs all the time, and I don't really think his fucking gear's that good, but he's up there. So if you're lucky, they'll promote you. But if you're not, 9 out of 10 of us get bent over the kitchen table and fisted by fucking Susan and her chums in Silicon Valley. So that's what it is. Fuck them. If they keep disappearing your posts, that's all I want to talk about. And yeah, same with videos as well, right? A year ago, I was averaging, 5,000-6,000 to fucking go. Sometimes I get a lot in the tens. Typically, if I slagged off Meghan Markle, because everybody hates her. I can imagine there's old ladies who are uncomfortable with the swearing and don't like anything I do. But as soon as I talk shit about Meghan Markle, they're like, fuck it, you can have a like. She is that dislikable. But, and again, even my views are in the doldrums. I've gone down from an average of about 5k to like what? I don't even know what I'm at now. Let's have a look. First page. Fucking 500. It's shocking. And it's not like a year ago I was making highbrow, intellectual content and I was wearing a lab coat and carrying a clipboard. I say, chaps, today we'll be discussing Chaucer. No, I've always been a foul-mouthed arsehole. My content's exactly the same. You would think a year later I'd have fucking more views, but I haven't. So it's part of the game. And as I said, fuck them. I'm just trying to give you guys a pep talk. Because if I can keep up and I'm the one doing all the fucking work, well, it's not work. It's not work, is it? When Sargon was on Joe Rogan, he said, I work hard. Editing videos isn't fucking work. Carrying bricks up a fucking ladder on a hod when it's pissing down with rain and it's 7:30 in the morning. That's fucking work, boys and girls. This isn't. So this is a pep talk for you, not me. I'm a stubborn twat. And I'll fucking go nowhere until Zucker Twat and Doorstop turn up with a bunch of heavies and fucking fire rocket-propelled grenade launcher into my fucking front door. So fuck them. But for you guys watching, keep commenting and liking stuff and enjoying your fucking selves on YouTube. Because fuck them. They only win if you let them win. That's what it's like when you're doing your Special Forces selection. Never never leave of your own accord. Fuck them. Make them physically throw you off the course. And that is my attitude towards Doorstop and Zucker Twat and Suzanne and all the rest of the horrible cunts. Fuck them. History will remember us kindly when it inevitably goes to shit and we have the mass civil unrest and as usual the communists fucking lose. So just keep at it. Fuck them. Doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter if you don't get a reply or your comments get deleted. Fuck them. Write them again. If I can keep making this shit, you can keep writing shit. Right? Fuck them. Okay. Pep talk over with. Let's do some news. This fucker. This is fucking brilliant. I need my headphones. Hang on. Again, if you want highbrow, technological, tech-savvy content, go and watch fucking Linus Tech Tips. I do like Linus, but because I'm into PCs. I did build my own PC, so I can do that. But if you watch YouTube videos, it's just like putting a fucking jigsaw together. Right. Let's enjoy this fucking this cracker. As a medical doctor, I agree with Professor Robert Winston, the eminently reasonable Robert Winston, who, again, what's he ever done that's controversial? This is a very sad thing that as a society we've got ourselves into a place where we cannot discuss fucking facts. without being called names, without being called hateful. Like, again, I've made the case many times. Those of you that have followed my channel for more than a year or two, well, fuck knows, I've been at it a while now, know how I feel about this stuff. I am not in any way anti any fucking thing. I'm as pro LGBT as it's possible to be without routinely pleasuring male sailors. I don't fucking care what perfect strangers get up to in the free time, but I can't sit here and have people lie about reality. It hurts the logic part of my brain. I'm not fucking having it. It's not about hate. It's not about disliking anybody. It's about accepting reality as it is and fucking getting on with your life. And I don't understand how it's controversial. Listen to this, and by the end, you tell me what he said that was sucking, what was worthy of chastisement from the dippy twat that was fucking running the panel. Just watch.
During the outrage around a professor at the University's views, how can a campus create a space of free speech while also protecting their diverse student body?
So this, what you're referring to, Grace, is there's a controversy surrounding Professor Kathleen Stock, I think is what you're talking about, who is at Sussex University, and she's been accused of people there of being transphobic, which she has vehemently denied. She has faced death threats. She's been advised by the police to install CCTV cameras outside her home and consider having bodyguards on campus. I mean, since you're... So, Robert, I'm interested in your view, given that you were Vice-Chancellor of Sheffield Hallam for some...
I'm sorry?
I'm interested in your view, given that you were Vice-Chancellor of Sheffield Hallam, weren't you, for some time? I mean, this... You've mentioned Kathleen Stock, and that's a trans... issue, but obviously academic freedom has been talked about in a number of areas in recent years.
I was rather hoping that you'd be interested in my opinion as a biologist, which seems rather more important, because I've got to say something.
Yeah, you'd think you're going to ask the world-renowned preeminent biologist about biology, wouldn't you? But it's mental. The way we behave now, it's another reason why I keep talking about this type of stuff, is because it's far more harmful than you think. People just think these type of debates are about being polite, having good manners, but they're genuinely harmful. Because if you're going to start selecting people like this and then chewing their ear off, talking absolute shit, you're wasting talent. You're wasting talent. It's an equivalency would be if you live around the corner from the best mechanic in the world and everybody fucking goes on about him all the time, says, oh, have you been around to see fucking Pablo, the fucking garage around the corner? He's a wizard. He's a wizard. You take your car in there, it's fucked. Yeah, you can have rolled over it in a combine harvester. And Pablo gets his hands on it and fucking 20 minutes later, it's purring like a kitten. It's amazing. He's the best mechanic in America. And I go, oh, fucking nice one. I'll go over there and ask him about vegan diet. I'll ask for his advice. How do you fix me toilet, Pablo? I'm a mechanic, not a plumber. Fuck off. I want to ask you shit that you have no knowledge of. That is the equivalent of what we're doing. We get the most talented people in our society, the most educated, the most advanced. They are elite, unlike our politicians. People like Richard Dawkins. The man is a fucking savant. What he doesn't know about evolutionary biology is, well, there's nothing he doesn't fucking know about it. And instead of him just cracking on with his work and educating kids, they're like, let's talk about cock for an hour. Why? Why? It's a fucking waste. Just think how much more progress we'd be making if instead of the last 10 years, we weren't just talking about tits or whether a woman can have a fucking throbbing 10-inch penis or whether a man can have a fucking... or whether a man can have a fucking minge. We were actually getting the people who have the most skill and the most intelligence to do the things they're supposed to be doing, that they want to be doing, the things they were trained for. But this is what we do now. NASA are talking about this. NASA are talking about purple hair and fucking piercings. They're not busy working on fucking planets. It's fucking mental. That's what we're doing now. Wasting people's fucking time.
I'm just saying it only because the issue of academic freedom isn't solely
I'm about to say something which will mean
trans.
that you'll probably want to edit the programme when I finish. But basically...
Okay. Right. Okay, we're all braced for it.
I will say this categorically, that you cannot change your sex. Your sex actually is there in every single cell in the body. You have a chromosomal sex, you have genetic sex, you have hormonal sex. You have all sorts of different kinds of psychological, brain sex, they're all different. And we are very confused about this, unfortunately.
And that's an obvious fact to anyone who knows. Again, you don't have to be a scientist. You just have to know about life, don't you? Like, everyone who's ever dated a woman, men I'm talking to here. Oh no, I suppose I'm not. Lesbians as well. Butch lesbians. Anyone who's ever dated a woman knows that men and women's brains are different. And he's saying what we all know. Again, you only need to be a normal working class person with a high school level education. You know it. Deep down, like I said, my grandmother wasn't an educated woman. She didn't have fucking GCSEs or A-levels. You got wisdom from her because she knew what she was talking about, because she knew what she knew. And if you were to stop her in the street and say, can a woman have a fucking throbbing 10-incher? She'd say, what are you talking about, you fucking idiot? We just know. And I mean, a really good example that I've talked about with my missus about the difference between men and women. You know how, like, educated people who know all this stuff keep saying how, men are more into things and women are more into people. And I know from listening to John Peterson and the like that they've proved it, right? You get, like, a little baby girl is more interested in, like, people's faces, and a little baby boy is more interested in, like, fire trucks and fucking plastic guns or something. It's deeply in you're hardwired into your brain, because all of that chemical processes that take place during that lengthy pregnancy, from the moment you swim out your dad's fucking sack and fertilise that egg, there's chemistry going on. Again, this is high school level shit, right? I'm not claiming to be a fucking evolutionary biologist. I just read a few of Richard Dawkins' books. There's chemistry going on there, deep chemistry. And men and women are different on a cellular level. Men get bathed in testosterone in the womb. So when a man's born, his brain chemistry is altered by that compared to a woman's. And that is why if you take a fucking 18-year-old lad and an 18-year-old lass, and they're exactly the same height and exactly the same weight, on average, the lad can bench 50 pounds more than the woman or whatever. It's not a small difference. Sexual dimorphism is depending on the species, it's a big deal or a small deal. But in humans, it's a fucking big deal. And that's why it's cowardly for men to beat women up, because we're so different. Men are stronger than women. Our brains are different. It's from being rinsed with a different amount of chemical hormones from day dot. Testosterone alters your brain. And again, me and my missus have talked about it. That's why you don't meet many women who love playing shoot 'em up video games, do you? Me and my mates, every Sunday, we sit and play shoot 'em ups on my computer. They're all in the UK. We do it on our daft headsets. And I enjoy it. It's a good laugh. Fucking running around in a digital landscape shooting a pretend gun. Not many women are as into it, because they just aren't. Now, some are, but exceptions don't disprove rules, do they? Again, we know this. You don't need to be a fucking scientist. You just have to have observed reality. So, why do we persist in entertaining delusions when even a fucking plumber knows all of this stuff? It's common sense. Men and women are different. Our brains are different. Women are more likely to be into looking after kids, and men are more likely to be into playing with engines. I mean, if you think that's controversial, you don't know anything. I'm not saying you're not book smart. You literally don't know anything. You've never talked to a fucking woman if you think men and women's brains are fucking identical. You're just mental. That's why more men are into video games, more women want to work in a fucking creche. It's hardwired into us. It's evolution. Funny old thing with these lunatics talking about equality of outcome, and they want 50% of women doing this and 51% of CEOs should be female. Again, are you going to apply it both ways? Do you think you're ever going to get 50% of primary school teachers to be fucking blokes? 50% of kindergarten assistants to be blokes? 50% of bricklayers and scaffolders and plumbers to be women? You're a fucking lunatic. You're a fucking lunatic if you believe this shit.
Fortunately, and regrettably, it's got into this argument that people are now will now accuse me of being transphobic.
Well, obviously there are trans people who say you absolutely can do that.
Well, unfortunately, you can't say this publicly. This is one of the big problems. Even saying this on this programme undoubtedly will result in my getting a huge amount of hate mail. It always does. But I do think it's a big issue about the attitudes. There are, of course, issues which are important about young people who are confused about their sex, but we won't go down that route here. But it does affect a whole lot of issues in schools and elsewhere in our society. Of course, we should accept people as they are. Overall, I think it's a very sad thing that we can't discuss biological science without actually getting completely caught up emotionally with something which is really completely wrong.
Well, as I say, there are people who would vehemently disagree with you, so I'm just going to...
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go, right? So, two things. First of all, he was ridiculously polite, as we always are, the ever band, yeah? As we always are. No one ever says, trans people are horrible, I fucking hate them. Nobody thinks that. Most, 99% of people are like, you do you. You want to go to the gay disco and fucking daisy chain around the dance floor with 20 blokes, you fucking crack on, fella. Do as you please. As long as it's got fuck all to do with me. I don't think children should be walking down the street, going to school, carrying a Thomas the Tank Engine fucking satchel, and he looks across the road and there's a bloke in a gimp suit fisting a sailor. That's all we say, right? Do whatever you like. Just have a bit of decorum. And don't get your balls out in the middle of the fucking street. I mean, shit, that in itself, that's illegal, right? If I just randomly got my balls out in the middle of the street, the coppers would have something to say about it. But if you wear a big daft flag and you put a fucking, one of them big balls in your mouth, apparently you can just whip your testes out in the middle of the fucking street. Call it a pride parade, they'll go, winner, winner. Show all the kids your balls. It's fucking mental. It's fucking mental. So first of all, very polite, very reasonable, said we should always treat people with respect. Of course he doesn't hate anyone. Of course there's no need for bigotry and violence. Of course not. So, first off the bat, just to see off the hate speech assault that he's going to get labelled against him. Oh yeah, they'll say it's violence, won't they? Because speech is violence, apparently, yeah. Bit of wind comes out your mouth that they disagree with. Fucking violence. Violence, that you could. If silence is violence, shit you say can be violence, can't it? Don't know what shooting you in the face with an AK-47 is. If silence is violence, we'll have to make up a new term for that, won't we? Oh my God, he's committed an act of mega violence, right? If you shoot someone in the eye with a Glock, that's mega violence. If you disagree with a lefty, that's merely violence. That's hateful violence. Fucking lunacy. But secondly, did you see how fast she was to shoot him down there and say, and this is the key thing, she said some people. She didn't say some scientists, did she?
Disagree with you, so I'm just going to...
Yes, I'm actually getting completely caught up emotionally with something which is really completely wrong.
Getting caught up emotionally with something that is completely wrong.
Well, as I say, there are people who would vehemently disagree with you, so I'm just going to...
Yes, I'm
going to make that clear.
People who will vehemently disagree with you, yeah. And those people have got the IQ of a pull-along duck. So fuck them. So fuck them. It's like, I don't see why he gets any... That Stonewall policy, Matt. What's that? Rotten politics. What's Stonewall policy? People who've got no fucking idea what they're talking about. Get an opinion. Because it's mad. Like I said, it's like it's like taking your car to the mechanic and saying, what's the matter with it? And he says, oh, it needs an oil change. And you say, oh yeah. Oh yeah, well I know a woman who works in a fucking nursery. She fucking vehemently disagree with you, you cunt. All right, does she know a lot about... No, she hates cars. Cars. She hates them. Never been near a car. Actually, she's a cyclist. She hasn't got a driving licence, but she vehemently disagrees with you, fucking king of the mechanics. it's fucking mental. BBC run on Stonewall and they have to say that some people disagree. Okay, yeah, you have to point it out. Yeah, it's absolute lunacy. So like I said, the mechanic analogy is a good one, isn't it? Some people will disagree, yeah, but why should we listen to these people? Why should we listen to these people? I went to war 5 fucking times. If I tell you some anecdote of what actually happened on the ground in Afghanistan, she's not going to say to me, oh yeah, but you know what? There's a pacifist hippie living in a wigwam out the back. He'll disagree with you. Oh yeah, well, what's his experience? Oh, he's got none. Pacifist. He never even left fucking Yorkshire. But he disagree with you. So you're both equally valid. No, you aren't. You aren't. And the mad thing is, again, these barmy cunts, they always talk about the experts when the experts agree with them. They have total scorn for any of the people who go, oh, yeah, but experts, should we be listening to the experts? But when it's something that is a hard, black and white fact, they go, oh, no, well, fuck the experts. Fuck the experts. I feel very strongly about it. If it's linked with wokeism, fuck the experts. If it's not linked with wokeism, oh, experts are fucking brilliant. It seems to be their opinion, right? If you agree with the woke religion, brilliant. Brilliant to have you around, Mr. Expert. If your expert disagrees with the woke religion, fuck the expert. I'm going to ask this random bag lady for advice. See that woman feeding the fucking pigeons in the park? Yeah, the crusty shit-covered homeless woman. She knows what she's talking about. Fuck the expert. Let's go and ask the lass feeding the pigeons about biology. Because Richard Dawkins is a cunt. Again, if you think this is reasonable and logical and that works for you, you crack on. I don't know what I can say to change your mind, other than to say you're obviously a fucking maniac. You're a fucking maniac. The hard sciences, the ones you learn in high school, physics, chemistry, biology, there are hard sciences with black and white answers. And if you decide that the scientist giving you the black and white answer is disagreeing with you because you were a woke dickhead and you don't like physics, chemistry and biology, that doesn't give you free rein to tell me that you're going to get advice, biological advice from the bloke who makes fucking ice cream, right? You don't get to say, oh yeah, Ben and Jerry's, they love woke, but the Richard Dawkins doesn't, so fuck it. Fuck it, I'm going to have Ben and Jerry answer this biology-related question. No, you're an idiot. Your position makes no sense at all. No fucking sense at all. It's madness. Nothing that bloke said was unreasonable at all. And they'll vilify him and make out like he's a fucking baby raper. it's unbelievable. So fuck him. Oh, that took a while. What else have I got? I should check this out. I'm Ragnar. I think I'll click that when I'm not on a live stream because I'm worried about what I might see. Let's do one more news story, shall we? Police warn by charges possible for bystanders who fail to report rape. This is good because it shows the chaos and resentment and spite and just fucking going down the pan, circling the drain that is currently occurring in the big American cities. This is why we moved out into the sticks, because I'm sick of living in fucking Babylon. Look how bad this story is. Bystanders who stood by and failed to help a woman raped on a Philadelphia commuter train last week may face criminal charges. Fucking should do. Said CCTV cameras show the bystanders on the train did nothing as the assault took place. Apparently, it was a violent assault. So he proper started getting into this woman's face and then just went, fuck it, I'm going to horse one into her. Like fully raping a woman. I'm assuming she was screaming and fucking going mental and crying and like, no, worst thing ever. And they all just went, fuck it. Fuck it. Now to do with me, it'll be identity politics, won't it? It'll be like a gang of people from one group on the pyramid doing nothing because the person is somewhere else on the pyramid, so fuck them. It'll be something related to that. And nothing. Nobody did anything. They all just laughed and went, fuck them. Fuck them. This is Philadelphia. I always wanted to go there as well and run up the stairs like Rocky. Bit of a nightmare. I can still go. I'll just have to go jogging with a fucking shampoo bottle wedged up my shit box. I'll just have to wear my chastity pants. Get my wife to keep the key and barricade the fucking hotel room shut. So yeah, absolutely shocking. It's just going fucking totally down the pan in the big cities. Just a total fucking shit show. Like the third world. That's the shit you used to read about in India, didn't it? Where someone had raped some cunt on a bus and they'd all just go, I'm next. Yeah, put me down. Fucking unbelievable. So, yeah. Also, you'll note that the BBC doesn't show his picture, right? You can guess why that is. If he was ginger, if it was a pasty Irish ginnock, there'd be a photo up there. But obviously there isn't. Because the BBC don't want to tell anyone that people other than straight white men occasionally commit fucking crimes. But needless to say, I Googled it. Also, his name is almost Fistum. So his mother, very wise in the naming department. It's like she was giving you a fucking clue. There's a cue, girls. Don't sit next to a bloke on a train called fucking Fistum. Anyway, it's fucking shocking. I shouldn't laugh, but, you know, gallows humour. The New York Post will show you, because the New York Post's not the fucking BBC, and they don't refuse to tell you things if it's harmful to the cause of woke. So, yeah, the New York Post will show you what he looks like. There's Fistum. Good lad. Good lad, really. He's just misunderstood. Basically, if the woman that he raped wasn't an agent of the cis-het patriarchy, poor old Fistum wouldn't have had to do what he did. It's not Fistum's fault. He had balls like coconuts, and an agent of the fucking cis-hetero patriarchy was sat next to him. Fucking hell, what you doing? Sitting next to Fistum when you're a fucking agent of the patriarchy? Basically, she should get fined and Fistum should get a statue. Yeah, we should. Why change the system, right? The bloke who held the gun to the pregnant woman's stomach got a statue. Fuck it, let's build Fistum one. Let's build Fistum one. Nice one. And, yeah, to anybody else watching, I would suggest you quickly flee the cities. I want them to go bankrupt. I'm quite happy in my little cave out here, out in the sticks. Go for a run, keep fit, eat clean, save me money, and just watch the cities fucking burn. I want people to be fleeing New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco in fucking droves. And I want the people that are daft enough to stay in them to be eating fucking rats by the end of the year. Because if you're thick enough to stick around when shit like this is going on, when there's women getting raped in front of 20 fucking bystanders, you're not safe anyway, are they? They always tell you, if you're going to go on Twitter, on Tinder, make sure you meet someone in a public place. If they fucking rip the clothes off you on public transport and nobody does anything about it, and you're still in that city by the end of the week, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I'm not saying you deserve to get one horsed into you by a tramp, but you're a fucking idiot. I'll say that much about you. Anyway, right. Posh living AB. Yep, me, I'm posh as fuck, me. Everybody knows it. Right, I'll call it a day. That's nearly 40 minutes. You fuckers don't pay me enough for 40 fucking minutes. I'm kidding. Remember what I said earlier. Keep posting, keep tweeting, keep using their shitty platforms, do as you like, and if they keep fucking deleting your fucking stuff, write them out again. I've started copy and pasting, writing something out, press Ctrl-C, and then wait 5 minutes, and if it's fucking disappeared, Ctrl-V, put it on again, and again, and again, and again. Let's see who gets pissed off first. The fucking Bootneck, a man who earned his Green Beret, or some fat, saggy, Silicon Valley fucking harpy. Let's see who gets pissed off first. Alright? So fuck them. Like it, share it, comment away, comment 10 times if you have to. Fuck them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Good night.